I have been getting this question a lot that was just sent over. My daughter has an ungrateful, rotten attitude. What can I do to turn this around? I feel like this is a pretty common one for a lot of parents that I've been talking to as well. That just like their kid just is ungrateful and really just doesn't want to do anything and doesn't appreciate all that their parents are doing to try to help them with the things that they're struggling with. So what are just like some things that you would suggest for people in this situation?
So I'm going to start with parents because lighting is so bad. Here, I
Ah!
think you see the outside. Okay. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on them being grateful, or are you focusing on that one time when they do something positive? Because if you're focusing on how they're not grateful and they don't help out, that's what they're hearing, and that's what you're reinforcing in their brain. So there's this concept in psychology called partial reinforcement. What does that mean? It means you reinforce anything, even in the right direction. My child the other day, I literally almost fainted. Inevitably, if there's trash in the trash can in the kitchen, it will just get pushed down and, try to. She took the trash out and put it in the trash can outside in the garage and came back in and put a new bag in. I almost fell out of my chair. But what I did was I really acknowledged that. So I said, don't bring the dog in, but he comes in anyway. And so what are you focused on? Are you focused on your child being ungrateful, or can you find those tiny little times, those tiny times when they're doing something positive? Because what you focus on gets bigger. So that would be the first thing that I would say. Really, really look at that. Second of all, give them opportunities to do things around the house. Great. You want your phone? Excellent. So in order to in order to earn your phone, here are the three things you get to do. And when you do those three things, you get the reward of your phone.
Oh, that's great.
You want to have your Xbox? Excellent. Here are the three things you do to earn that. And so when they're working towards a goal, that will not only help them feel more grateful, it will not only help them feel more empowered, but we know, again, from the research in positive psychology, that this concept of having a moderately difficult goal, if it's too easy, take 3 breaths and then you can, have your phone, whatever. If it's too hard, it gets overwhelming. But when you have moderately difficult goals that are meaningful to your children, they're going to work towards them. They're going to feel empowered, and they're going to feel really proud of themselves. And they're also going to be a lot more grateful for the process. Yeah. But it's really going to be one of the big steps is to get out of the red zone as a parent. Stop focusing on just what they're doing wrong and realize this is part of being a teenager. Part of a teenage brain is kind of that sense of entitlement. So how can you change that? And your positive attitude towards it is going to be a really, really big impact on that. Yeah. I'm going to close the door because everyone's coming home now. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. I just feel like Lindsay, is anyone qualified to be a parent? It feels like this is the hardest thing. And
totally.
You know what I mean? And all you had to do was make a baby. And I don't think there's no licenses that you got to get, no tests you got to pass. You got a baby, and then you got to figure all this stuff out. Like it's but I love that bit about earning. Go, Lindsay.
Here's what's even more wild. And Dr. E, you can probably back me on this. I work with kids every day, right? That's what I do. And I love it. I love it more than anything else in the whole world. I will still be guilty of doing the exact things I'm coaching kids out of doing. Number one, for the older teens and young adults that I work with, and or doing the exact things that I'm coaching other parents not to do. I do with my own children, because none of us you're not qualified. And because it's very different, no matter how much you learn, it's very different when you're in your own household with your own kids than when it is when you're talking to someone else's, because there's emotion involved, that red becomes a thing. Those are just, there isn't anyone that's just, no matter how much education you've had, no matter whether or not this is the industry you work in or not, there is no one that is qualified to be a parent.
Mm.
And
And
everybody's kids and everybody as a person is different. So there's different dynamics and personalities and culture. And there's just so many variables, and that we're all just doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
The growth
Yeah.
mindset is the crucial part, right? Wanting to grow, wanting to be better, wanting to connect with your kids in a way that builds them up and makes life enjoyable for them.
Well, and
So-
that's one of the great things
Yeah.
about this program, and the programs that I do with my kids is, sometimes our kids can't hear from us. I mean,
Right.
I can't deal with the subject. I have a PhD in clinical psychology. I teach this around the world, but I also have two incredible kids who have gotten support from other people to learn some of these skills too, because they can't always hear it from us. And that's, again, the beauty of the program, where the kids can be learning these skills from you all, and then coming back and applying them.